first of 3 meetings between these two teams during the remainder of the season. As we get set for the Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes. Closed captioning is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Let's check out our Audi goaltending matchup. Henrik Lundqvist right back in goal for the Rangers. You see his numbers, 22 wins, .914 save percentage, and he has played very, very well against Carolina. As I mentioned, Rangers having won 9 straight. Anton Khudobin, the former Boston Bruin, is really taken over as the #1 goaltender here for Carolina. They're carrying 3 goaltenders.
He's been really good. He missed a couple of months with an ankle injury, and they just signed him to a new 2-year contract extension.
Cam Ward has struggled throughout the season. They also have Justin Peters, who was down in the minors for conditioning. He's back, but Khudobin got the win in San Jose, 3-2 in overtime to end a 5-game road trip after they had lost 4 in a row. Underway here with the line of Richards, St. Louis, and Hagelin, Strawman, and Mark Stahl for the Rangers. Andre Sekera, number 4, as you mentioned with Dave, Joe Sekera has been their best defenseman.
38 points. He's been tremendous, having one of those breakout seasons. Never able to get to that level when he was in Buffalo, but a little change of scenery, and he's been very good right from training camp on.
The Hurricanes wearing their 3rd jerseys, the black jerseys with the red numerals. Rangers have brought on Stepan Nash and Kreider with McDonough and Girardi. Girardi hit by Talusti, and Girardi goes down and is shaken up, getting up very slowly behind the play. It's brought back in. Jordan Stahl with a drive, saved by Lundqvist. Girardi is up, skating slowly, still looks a little shaky.
God, he's tough.
Now he's heading for the bench.
I thought when he went down that awkwardly, because he tried to turn and he was off balance.
Jeff Skinner with a big drive and a stick save by Lundqvist. Kirk Muller telling us this morning that the first period has been the worst period for Carolina this season, but right now they've applied some early pressure. Back the other way, Benoit Pouliot. Pouliot looking for Zuccarello. Around the net with a pass for Pouliot that went by him. Skinner, Zuccarello catches up to him. Zuccarello's conditioning seems to be fine. The only concern will be how will that hand hold up.
Well, he didn't have any pain the last couple of days, and the doctors cleared him yesterday. I thought he should have tested the hand right there and taken the shot. That was a good setup for him, and he passed up a pretty good scoring opportunity.
Alain Vigneault has gotten all 4 of his lines on the ice. There's a lead for Dan Carcillo. Carcillo with Dominic Moore. That shot. And Khudobin had trouble with it. He made the save and then he fell down.
Yeah, he did not anticipate a shot. He was starting to cheat off that post, and that nearly ended up in the net. And meanwhile, just prior to that, Dan Girardi really got hit hard by Talusti. You'll see Girardi try and make a move, and his legs ended up, kind of separating, and he went hard into the boards. And I shouldn't be surprised that he got up because of the toughness that we've seen on Dan Girardi all these years, and he just needs a little windshield wiped down. That's all.
You have any win next, Joe?
He is something. He is really something. Meanwhile, we've got a delay here because they're going to take a look at this last opportunity to see if that puck actually went in the net. Khudobin starts thinking this was going to be a pass, so he just cheats a little bit. And a smart play by Dan Carcillo to put it off the goaltender, and then everyone lost sight of it. Here's another look. See what happened. He starts turning a little bit. Oh, where's the puck? Boy, oh boy. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
The puck never crossed the goal line.
Right.
He worked, he did a good job to keep the puck out of the net, did Khudobin.
Tom Cole and Justin St. Pierre are the referees tonight. And a quick review.
Dan Girardi right back on the ice with his regular partner, Ryan McDonough. What's he missed? He's missed 4 games in his career, right, in the regular season. And then everything, the way he plays.
You said it before, he is tremendously tough. Puck sent in. John Moore. And Kevin Klein on Moore with a quick pass. Richards up to St. Louis. Marty St. Louis has had great numbers. That's an icing on the Rangers. Marty St. Louis, throughout his career with Tampa Bay, has had phenomenal numbers against the Carolina Hurricanes.
It's kind of funny this morning, wasn't it, the morning skate? All the Carolina people going, oh, Marty St. Louis kills us every time he plays against us.
Look at that. 87 points in 76 games and a plus 28. 38 goals. He is sitting on 29 for this season. There's Marty St. Louis, 62 points, 61 points, excuse me. Sakara with a long drive that deflected away. Comes up the boards. John Michael Lyles winds it back down. Richards goes for it. Around the boards, Lyles, Hagelin on him. Kevin Klein bats it into the Rangers bench and play stops. 3:09 gone by here in the first period. Marty St. Louis heading for the bench. Now here in Carolina, they provide a folding chair, which is usually for him. And
Or John Giannone.
He's leaving the folding chair empty. Okay.
Maybe later.
John Giannone checking it out. It's there for him if he wants it. Stahl, Mark Stahl around the board. Kreider fell down. Strowman looking to play it around for Rick Nash. And now it's Derek Stepan off the boards to Kreider. Derek Stepan in the first meeting between these two teams had a hat trick. And the line of Stepan, Kreider, and Zuccarello was awesome, with the other line mates having 3 assists in that game.
Well, as long as Alain Vigneault was saying yesterday, it's time to get over this short hangover of the trade deadline and the Olympic break and get to it. And he's right. And Marty St. Louis said that chair does look comfortable, so he's going to slide over and take that take that spot. But he said, you know what? It's time to just get points, concentrate on that. And he's right. There's a lot of desperation that these teams are feeling, aren't there, Sam? When you just get around these teams.
Rangers able to take it back. Driving to the net was Zuccarello, and Khudobin was able to stop the puck.
He wasn't even sure he had that one. And Zuccarello thinks it's in. Zuccarello got taken down on the play. He was just breaking to the net from the other side. You know what? Let's see this. Where is it? Hard to tell. Zuccarello, I think, sees it in the net.
But I'm thinking...
Oh, he did. It was in the net because one of the players pulled it out from...
But I'm thinking that it was his legs that may have pushed it into the net.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. A goal can be scored that way as long as you don't intentionally put it in with your legs. If you get knocked down, the puck hits you and it goes into the net, that should be a good goal. Now the question is, the referee was right there. He's checking again. I don't think he blew the whistle because it was such a bang-bang play, and that's why they're going to look at this. I mean, this is a goal that should count unless the official blew the whistle or was intending to blow the whistle. Because as you can see, the puck got lost, but here's it again. I mean, that's. I believe it's already in the net when the whistle blows. But he gets taken down and slides in. And if the puck goes off your body and goes in, that's a good goal.
But I don't know if...
Here it is. The puck right through his legs in the back of the net. The whistle hadn't blown it. Here's the puck right here. And the puck goes right through.
Now,
to me, there's no reason why it shouldn't be a goal.
Here's the explanation.
There's no goal on the play. I blew the whistle before the puck go into the net. And the goalie was pushed by the players, no goal.
That's Justin St. Pierre making the ruling.
I'm sorry, but I didn't hear the whistle blow before the puck was in the net, which is what he said.
So play resumes. We've had 2 reviews, and that shot was gloved by Khudobin.
Now, the other factor is what I mentioned earlier. If there's an intent to blow the whistle. See, I don't think the official saw the puck go in the net. And Zuccarello was the one that right away pointed it out that it went in the net. So I think that one, to me, works against the Rangers. Good to see Zuccarello right back in the middle of things, isn't it?
He
Didn't
drove
waste
to the
any
net.
time.
Brad Richards right back on. Alain Vigneault using this line an awful lot early. Shot by St. Louis was blocked in front. Lyles was tied up with Hagelin. And Patrick Dwyer puts it in the Rangers zone. Back forward is McDonough. After him, Nathan Gerby, number 14. Gerby, one-time Buffalo Sabre. Puck lifted out. Former teammate of Brian Boyle at Boston College. Good hit by Klein.
And Gerby is another player, Sam, that talked about the influence of Marty St. Louis. Now, because Gerby's a small player. He's about 5'6" or 5'7". And they talk about Marty St. Louis making it in the National Hockey League and playing at that high level really inspired some of the smaller players that make them feel that they could make it as well.
Oh, there's no doubt that he has been an inspiration to many, many players with the way his career has evolved. You're looking at a future Hall of Famer. He's had a marvelous career, a Stanley Cup champion, an MVP in the league, a two-time scoring champion. Just can't say enough good things about what he's done. Never drafted. Came out of University of Vermont, signed as a free agent, went to Calgary, didn't play much there. Went to Tampa Bay and became a champion. Around the boards, Boyle after it. Carcillo tried to block it. McDonough got a piece of it. And Carcillo able to take it back. Now Girardi. Nearly 5.5 minutes into the game. No score. Penalty upcoming. It's going to be on Carolina. It's a bad penalty in the neutral zone. Rangers get an extra skater on the delayed penalty call. Nash with a long pass ahead to Kreider. Back for Nash. Rangers maintaining possession, trying to gain the zone. Good pass up the middle to Nash from Brassard. Nash looking. McDonough had it knocked away. Now the Hurricanes touch up, and the Rangers will get the first power play of the game at 5:55.
Yeah, this will be Jordan Staal that takes the penalty. Danny Carcillo, and there's Staal, one hand on the stick. He gets his stick caught up around the waist of Carcillo right there. Carcillo, that's, as we've seen over the last number of years, that call has become automatic.
This Rangers power play is presented by Volkswagen. Rangers power play, 2 for their last 8 over the last 3 games, 4 for 14 over the last 5. Carolina's penalty killing has been very good lately, 32 for their last 35. Nash throws it in front, taken away by Sekera. All over him with Stepan, St. Louis, Nash, Richards, and McDonough for the power play. Rangers keep in. Big drive went wide by McDonough. Richards. Rangers set up. St. Louis try to get it toward the net. Intercepted and cleared by Sekera.
Boy, what a good play by Sekera. Sekera had his stick on the other side of his body and anticipated that Marty St. Louis was going to pass it to the other side, so he moved the stick quickly and intercepted the pass.
Brassard with good speed. St. Louis was tied up, and Khudobin covers up at the side of the crease. It was Zuccarello, not St. Louis. I'm going to get 26 and 36 mixed up. They're the same size.
Well, one's bigger than the other, Sam. Come on.
They are?
Zuccarello there had the puck just bounced off the blade of his stick. And meanwhile, prior to that, the Rangers did a nice job keeping the puck in. And then they get everybody on Carolina over to one side. That leaves McDonough open on the other side all that time, and he tries to beat Khudobin to the far side and just misses.
Brassard, Pouliot, and Zuccarello with John Moore and Dan Girardi on for the second half of this power play. 59 seconds to go in the power play. Jordan Staal went for hooking. At 5:55, no score in the game. Jay Harrison trying to move it. Harrison able to get it out of the zone and all the way down. Here's Zuccarello skating well. Looking to make a play. Pass deflected. Comes to Moore. Save made by Khudobin. John Moore in deep.
And now Harrison getting involved. He and Brassard getting in a pushing and shoving match in front of the net. There was some room for Zuccarello, and then this pass gets deflected right there over to the other side. And John Moore, who moved up on the play, was able to get the shot, but Khudobin was able to get over, take everything away. Khudobin, real good positioning there. He gets over, gets the pads together, and not much room to get the puck through on him there.
Khudobin, born in Kazakhstan and grew up in Russia. And a guy that really helped him with the English language here was in the minor leagues with Benoit Pouliot when they were both in the Minnesota organization.
Khudobin's turned out to be a good story. He was with Boston, signed an $800,000 one-year contract, free agent contract with Carolina, and now has just signed a new two-year deal for $4.5 million. That's a nice raise and well-deserved.
Offside whistled on the play. Experience MSG Game Flow during every Rangers game. Follow along on MSG.com with live play-by-play and up-to-the-minute stats. You'll also have access to in-depth player cards, live tweets from the MSG On Air team, and extensive pre- and post-game video and analysis, all on MSG Game Flow. You'll like it. Power play is over. Team's back at full strength. No score in the game. Carolina now 17 for 18 on their in the last 5 games, including this one on the penalty kill. Fourth line on for the Rangers with Brian Boyle behind the net, tied up by Ryan Murphy, number 7. Here's Boyle, save by Khudobin. Kept in by Mark Stahl, played by Dominic Moore. Moore, Carcillo, and Boyle, the fourth line. Derek Dorsett is a healthy scratch, along with Justin Falk and the newest Ranger, Rafael Diaz, who joined the team yesterday and was at the morning skate. Only 3 players skated, the extras for the Rangers, plus goaltender Cam Talbot. Alexander Semin, hard shot, but it's whistled out for an offside. Would not have counted. 8:46 gone by, first period, no score. We're going to clear up everything, all questions, with a man between the benches, presented by Ford. That's our John Giannone. John.
I'd love to keep your promise, Sam, but it's not going to happen. Justin St. Pierre's explanation for Alain Vigneault was very quick, and unfortunately it was not in the language I understand. They spoke French to each other, but I do know Justin St. Pierre shook his head no several times, so it still meant no goal in whatever language you speak. Hey, we've got 2 guys who speak the language very well. Marty Baron, Ron Duguay back in our studio. You can send your thoughts to them on Twitter. Use the hashtag NYR, and our between period guest is Benoit Pouliot, guys.
Look forward to that. Thanks, John. John working solo between the benches tonight. That shot to the outside of the net by Elias Lindholm, who's the 5th player drafted overall in the 2013 draft. A good-looking rookie for Carolina. Puck deflects out of play.
Okay, John, I know you don't know French. I'm going to tell you exactly what was said, okay? He came over to the bench, and what he did is he informed the people in Toronto that it was his intention to blow the whistle. And that's why it was not a reviewable play, because
while
his
the goaltender was being pushed into the net.
Right, and he said he was going to blow the whistle, and that's why there was no review, despite the fact that the puck went into the net.
Did he tell that to Toronto in French?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Even though Mike Murphy, who is up there, I think would understand that language. He's been around long enough. He's listened to a lot of different languages over, especially from angry people over the years.
The young defenseman, Brett Belmore, number 73, holding behind the net. Ron Hainsey having some problems, reverses, and Marty St. Louis is there to take it back for Brad Richards. Strallman Kreider is on the line here
Notice that.
with St. Louis and Richards. And Kreider goes off and Hagelin comes on, so maybe that was a delayed change, a late change. Kreider extending his shift. Off the board, Derby chopped that in. It was blocked by Kevin Klein.
Sam, you know, earlier you mentioned that Carolina is not a good first period team. And Kirk Muller just telling us this morning, he says we sit and wait. You know, we don't have a lot of, you know, let's go take control of this game right after the outset. Let's wait and see how the other team is going to play, and then we'll respond to that. And he says that's why all season long the first periods have not been good, because they're waiting to see what the opposition does, and then they adjust their game accordingly. It's
that game against San Jose, they fell behind 2-0, but came back and won the game.
And actually, they had 16 shots in the first period. That might have been, you know, a first period where they did feel that they should have been ahead in that one. Here's a penalty coming up.
Pouliot was hooked. And the Rangers get another power play chance with 8:56 remaining in the first and no score.
Second power play of the game for the Rangers. That's Drayson Bowman in the penalty box. He'll get the hooking penalty. Benoit Pouliot ends up with the puck. There's the hook on the hands. And the Rangers back on the power play. And John Giannone is between the benches. John, what do you have?
Well, the strategy on this one, guys, is going to be simple. 5 times during that timeout, Alain Vigneault walked up and down the bench and said, I want to see some shooters here. Give me some shots. Show me some shots. Also watch for Rick Nash off to the side of the net. I think they want him to get closer to the net on this power play.
Thanks, John. Stepan, Nash, St. Louis, McDonough, and Richards for the Rangers power play, which is presented by Volkswagen.
Good face-off win there by Carolina, and that allows them to clear the puck and take some precious seconds off this power play time.
Boy, their penalty killing has really been good in recent games. Stepan swings it around for Nash. St. Louis was bumped by Sekera, and Belmore able to clear it all the way down.
Now that's just aggressive pressure by Carolina. 2 men went to the puck on the boards. The third one anticipated the puck going into the corner, and they just simply didn't give the Rangers any time to make a play and found the puck and cleared it.
McDonough to St. Louis. Sets up. Looks around. Nash is at the top of the crease. McDonough with a wrist shot. Save Khudobin. Nash with a shot knocked away by Khudobin. And it's cleared all the way down. So there was Nash around the net. And that first McDonough shot got through. That was a good one.
Well, the entrance into the offensive zone was a good one by the Rangers, and that forced Carolina to back off and give Marty St. Louis time.
That one was cleared by Sekera. McDonough still on. Brassard, Zuccarello, and Pouliot have come on. Richards and McDonough stay on. That pass missed connection. Rangers have to regroup with 35 seconds to go in the power play. Richards slowed down by Dwyer. Zuccarello plays it toward the net. It's intercepted by Belmore. He's got plenty of time to fire it down.
Excellent penalty killing. There's pressure even deep in the Ranger zone.
Manny Malhotra, the one-time Rangers first-round draft pick, is on number 22. One of the penalty killers. Doesn't play a lot of time, but does kill penalties. That shot by Girardi is held by Khudobin. With 8 seconds to go in the Rangers power play.
Well, when the Rangers were able to clearly get the puck in the zone, now they had time to set up. And so that forces Carolina to back off a little bit. And then there's Nash. If puck doesn't get through to the net, eventually Nash is able to find it. He wasn't at a great angle, but took the shot nonetheless.
Brassard on the faceoff against Eric Stahl. Brassard wins it. John Moore's got it. Eric Stahl to him. Here's Zuccarello. Pass through, and the shot saved. Khudobin on Girardi. Oh, he dragged that left leg. Almost looked like he was off balance, and he made the save. Team's back at full strength. Racing down Lindholm, 2-on-1. The pass for Bowman, missed connection. That was a pass by Lindholm for Drayson Bowman, who would come out of the penalty box. Ryan Murphy falls down.
Lindholm's just 18 years of age, and his best asset is his passing.
First round draft pick, number 5 overall.
Naturally a center iceman, but they in order to get him as a top 6 forward. They've got him playing on the wing with Eric Stahl.
Ryan Boyle moves in. Check there by Loktionov. Andrei Loktionov, the former Devil, was traded here at the trade deadline for Tuomo Ruutu. Dominic Moore. Strawman across to Mark Stahl. That went off the skate of Semin. Brian Boyle's shot knocked away with a blocker. Goodobin standing up and took that rising shot, knocked it away. Semin the other way. Semin turns against Strawman. The shot knocked down by Mark Stahl. Ryan Murphy tied up along the boards by Strawman. Behind the net, Loktionov. Now Alexander Semin, the two Russians playing together. The pass through for Jay Harrison. Blocked by Mark Stahl. Harrison has it again. Semin missed it. And Dan Carcillo after it. Bumping there with Nathan Gerby. Gerby hustling back to stop Carcillo.
Oh, that's a real good play by Gerby. Again, not very big, but he came back and played the body on Carcillo and broke up the play.
Just under 5 minutes to go in the first. Rick Nash moves in, surrounded by Hurricane players. In deep. That pass off the skate of Gerby. Kreider gets it back. Shot by Klein was blocked. Looking for room. McDonough, he shoots wide. The rebound to Stepan. Out to Klein. Now to McDonough. One-timer. Deflection save. And the rebound. Stepan was stopped by Ryan Murphy. Murphy with a big play on Derek Stepan. That pass intercepted by McDonough. Brought back by Kreider. Stepan tried to get it through to Kreider. Now McDonough across for the shot by Stepan. Blocked. Stepan was skating to the bench, and while he was heading for the bench, he stopped to take a shot. Good idea.
Well, McDonough's had a great period.
Yeah, he's skating very well.
He is skating, and he's finding room and making plays in the offensive zone. He's missed the net, though, a couple of times.
Girardi lead pass to St. Louis. Reverses on the shot, and it was stopped by Khudobin. Girardi tried to keep it in. It's taken back by Hagelin. 3:50 to go, first period. No score in the game. Taken away by Sekera. Good pass to Lindholm. That was stopped at the line by Girardi. Jeff Skinner was battling for it. Eric Stahl plays it back. Skinner, number 53.
Carolina's had just 2 shots on goal in this first period. The Rangers 11.
And those 2 shots came early.
Early on, right.
It's been several minutes since they've had a shot on goal. Jordan Stahl against Mark Stahl. Good battle there. The brothers going at it. Out to Ron Hainsey. Wrist shot goes wide, looking for a deflection from Jordan Stahl. He missed. Jiri Tlusty sets up Semin, and it was kicked away by Lundqvist. That's deflected wide of the net. Now there's pressure by Carolina, big time. Zuccarello wheels and good pass on the stick of Pouliot. Off the boards to himself. He moves in, his shot blocked. Good effort by Benoit Pouliot. 2:45 to go in the first. Ron Hainsey. Belmore's pass tipped ahead by Bowman. Strawman. That's deflected out of play, and play stops with 2:28 to go. First period, good pace to this game. Rangers and Hurricanes, no score.
Matt Zuccarello's had a strong presence in this first period. He has been noticeable. This is on the power play. He'll end up with the puck. He'll make this pass all the way across to Jan Girardi, and Khudobin comes up with a big save on Girardi. And he doesn't stop there. He comes all the way back down. Look at the beautiful play in the back check. There was a 2-on-1 initially for Carolina. Zuccarello worked himself all the way back to break up the play. Good to see him back in the lineup.
Absolutely. He has had himself a good season.
Oh, Carolina went over 15 minutes
without a shot.
Without a shot on goal.
Shots are now 11-4. We are late first period. Rangers have had the only 2 power plays in the game. Semin chips it ahead for Jordan Stahl. Moves in with Jiri Tlusty and scores! puts one in to break the tie.
You'll see on the far left, McDonough stands up here, stands up again, but then doesn't get any support behind him. So that allows two of the Carolina players to move in. Here's McDonough, stands up, but doesn't get any support, and Jordan Staal picks it up and fires a hard, high wrist shot over the glove of Lundqvist to give the Hurricanes a 1-0 lead. So they get the job done with their penalty killing to keep the game scoreless and find a way to score the first goal of the game.
Jordan Staal had been really struggling offensively. Here comes Stralman to the net, save Khudobin, and the rebound behind the net. Stralman's got it. Jordan Staal had no points in the last 6 games. Set up for Klein and a save. Khudobin. Chased down by Richards. Rangers getting good chances again. Here's Kevin Klein off his stick. He recovers. No goals in 10 games, 1 goal in the last 18 games coming into play tonight for Jordan Staal.
Yeah.
So that's a big goal for him.
Oh, it sure is, and for the Carolina team. And they haven't played that poorly, and as we were told this morning, they're working hard every game. Their work ethic is there, but they're not scoring many goals.
Harrison along the boards for Carolina. Eric Staal clears it out. Mark Staal pokes at it against Lindholm. It's taken back by Pouliot. Rangers have skated well. They moved the puck well. Had 14 shots on goal. Fans react as Harrison got knocked down. Then he cross-checked Zuccarello. Pass in front, Pouliot! And Khudobin got a piece of it.
Boy, he's been
Pouliot
good.
bumped him.
Khudobin's been the difference in this first period.
Brassard's pass deflects into the corner. Harrison takes a shot at Zuccarello.
Zuccarello had knocked him down earlier, and then Harrison fought back in the neutral zone.
Step on with room. That goes wide. Missed by Bowman, picked up by Eric Staal. Manny Malhotra's shot stopped by Lundqvist.
I'm telling you what, Zuccarello's in the middle of everything. Hitting everybody he can.
Bowman dropped it off. That long shot by Malhotra deflected out of play with 9.4 seconds remaining in the first period.
Boy, Pouliot, who's been skating here in the first period as well, has a chance. Brassard sets him up with the play. Brassard, good work along the boards, fights through it, and now this backhand pass to Pouliot. And Khudobin again is able to make the save before there's contact with Pouliot. He's been good. He allowed the 2 goals in the first period in San Jose and none since.
Puck forced out of the zone. Sent back in, steered away by Lundqvist. Jordan Staal is there, and that does it for the first period. Jordan Staal gets the goal at 17:49 from Seven and Hainsey. And again, a period in which the Rangers did a lot of good things, but come out empty.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to start finishing their opportunities. Khudobin was very good in goal. And then the penalty killing did a real good job for Carolina to keep the Rangers off the scoreboard in the first period.
All right, coming up, it's the Delta Intermission Report. John Giannone rejoins us. His special guest, Benoit Pouliot, back in the studios in New York. Ron Duguay and Marty Biron will break it down with highlights and analysis. And Bill Pito has the Audi MSG 150. It's all coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. Anton Khudobin has been the story for Carolina, making 15 saves in the first period. And Jordan Staal's goal made it a 1-0 Carolina lead. Look at those pretzels. Nice thing to have before the second period of tonight's game. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. How about a pretzel?
Is it better than the pizza?
Pizza was pretty good. Anton Khudobin was pretty darn good, too.
He was better than the pizza and the pretzels. Boy, he had a good first period. Again, he's coming off a real big win against San Jose, and the Rangers had all kinds of scoring chances in the first period, and Khudobin really battled hard because I thought the Rangers did a good job of getting to the net. Going to the front of the net, there was some contact with the goaltender, but Khudobin was there just to fight things off. And again, they go up and down the Ranger lineup. And most of the players had shots in that first period. The Rangers had 15 of them, and Khudobin stopped all of those. And the only goal, though, of the period was scored by Jordan Stahl, number 12 on the season.
Now, in the battle of the Stahl brothers, Mark has an edge on Eric, but Jordan has an edge on Mark. So Jordan, of course, having played with Pittsburgh, and so we'll see. Underway, second period. Khudobin, this isn't just a flash in the pan. This is a guy who was the NHL Player of the Month in January with 10 wins. Lindholm sliding it toward the net. Stallman is there. Rangers starting the period with Richards, Hagelin, and St. Louis. Pass in front. Knocked away from John Michael Lyles, the defenseman, who hustles back to get it, put it in the Rangers zone. Both teams change.
Yeah, they missed Khudobin when he was out with that ankle problem for about 2 months. And you mentioned Cam Ward, who won the Stanley Cup for them in goal back in 2006. He's had a terrible issue with injuries the last few years. A knee last year, bad groin this year. He's only played 2 games in 2014.
McDonough in deep. Stepan's got the puck. Stepan had a tricky shot from the sideboards that Khudobin had a little problem with. Girardi banks it off the boards. Sent the other way. This will be an icing on Carolina. We are a minute 16 into the second period.
Well, we're going to take another look at the only goal of the game thus far. And if we stop it right here, you're going to see, if we stop it here, here's Chris Kreider. Now, the Rangers have plenty of players back. Puck is over here. And for Chris Kreider, what he has to do is recognize to stay over there. See, he starts drifting. And now he's out of the play. And so now Dan Girardi can't stand up because he's got the 2-on-1 against him. Had Kreider just come straight back, taken the one man, everything would have been fine, I believe.
Pouliot puts it in front. Zuccarello just couldn't reach it with Belmore tying him up. Brassard brings it back in. Pass for Pouliot was deflected. Pouliot with a good play to get it to Zuccarello. Back to Pouliot, and that was broken up by Jordan Stahl. It'll be an interesting weekend for these two teams, and actually the next few days with a quirk in the schedule. After this game, both teams will head up north to the metropolitan area. The Hurricanes will play the Devils tomorrow night. The Rangers will play home against Detroit Sunday afternoon. And then the teams come back and play here Tuesday night.
And the Devils are actually playing in Detroit tonight. And Detroit is leading that game in the late in the first period, 1-0. All these teams fighting for points, huh?
Man.
It's quite the race. This is an icing.
New York. It's been the setting of some of Hollywood's greatest films, but what is the greatest of them all tonight? Join host Fran Healy along with Spike Lee, Ed Burns, John Leguizamo, and Jeffrey Lyons as they rank the greatest New York thrillers on the lineup. Presented by Tri-State Ford. That's tonight at 11 after Nick's post-game coverage on MSG. Kevin Klein gets to the puck after the face-off. Rangers have Moore, Boyle, and Carcillo on. With Klein and John Moore. John Moore checking Eric Stahl. Brian Boyle spinning away. Here comes Moore. Now Klein with a wrister that's knocked away by Khudobin. And brought the other way, Jeff Skinner. Skinner checked by Hagelin. Good play. And a penalty upcoming. Hagelin stayed with him too long. Skinner went down. They called Hagelin for holding.
Hagelin actually let go of his stick. Skinner went down, then Skinner got up and handed Hagelin his stick back and says, "Here, thanks for the hook." And so the Rangers will be shorthanded for the first time. Hagelin actually made a good play here on Skinner. Stayed with him. Gets his stick down, then Skinner grabbed the stick. That's a smart play. We see players do that. All they do is they take that arm and they just hold it tightly against their side with the stick in between, and then down he went. And Hagelin goes off for hooking.
It's a sneaky move, but sometimes very hard to detect. So the Rangers shorthanded. Carolina has struggled on the power play. They're 29th in the league, and the puck cleared all the way down.
That's the one thing that Kirk Muller told us that has really been a problem. He mentioned their penalty killing, which we saw was effective in the first period, but he said their power play has really had an issue.
Nash
One of the reasons they went out and got Lochtianov would be
Right.
on their second unit.
looking for a playmaker. Boyle and Nash on with Girardi and McDonough for the Rangers. Jordan Stahl putting it in the corner. There's Lochtianov is on now. John Michael Lyles pass across. Shot by Murphy, a save. Hard shot by the youngster Ryan Murphy. Puck around the boards. Boyle gets there. Can't clear. Stopped by Lyles. Ahead to Lochtianov. John Michael Lyles playing it back to Ryan Murphy. Long, big drive kicked away by Lundqvist. Two good shots by Lyles. Another penalty
against the Rangers.
Lochtianov pass across. Rangers will be shorthanded 2 men as the Hurricanes give up the puck. And this will be a 2-man advantage for 43 seconds for Carolina. Boyle was upset with John Michael Lyles, and Lyles poked at him with a stick.
Yeah. And now when the linesman trying to, Boyle is upset. The linesman pushing him back. Boyle actually gave the linesman a little bit of a push. He is really upset with this call. And now the Rangers are in some difficulty. That hit there must be,
Yeah.
that must be the hit there. Let's see, it was on Lyles.
They called him for elbowing, Joe. 2 men in the box.
Not sure I saw the elbow there. Did he get him? Yeah, maybe.
A little bit.
So it was one of those where he could have called either way.
I think he got a little bit of him.
Lyle's a much smaller player.
I think that had something to do
Yeah,
with it, the
I'm
size
sure.
difference.
And then
5
he was-
on 3, and limping is Stralman. He is hurting. Rangers need a stoppage here. Stralman can't move. And now Lundqvist with a smart play to dive out and stop play. And Stralman has gone to his knees.
Yeah, he got some help from Mark Stahl, who recognized the situation and communicated with Lundqvist to try and get the whistle. Here's Stralman right there, right off the side. It was just a wrist shot, but you could see Stralman turn. It was Semin who took the shot, and Stralman turned and took that off the side of the foot. Jim Ramsey's out to help him out. Now he seems to be a little bit better, a little bit. Some of the sting has gone away, and making his way to the Ranger bench, mostly on his own, but still a decided limp.
And while we see Jim Ramsey, I want to make note, we've congratulated everyone on their work at the Olympics. Jim Ramsey was a medical trainer for Team Canada and won the gold medal. They'll get a replica gold medal and a ring from the Olympics from Canada for the championship. So congratulations to Jim Ramsey.
Nobody better in the business than Jim Ramsey.
You're right. Simmons pass tipped away. 5 on 3 for Carolina. Final seconds, Rangers clear. That's a good job. And now it's a 5 on 4. Right now as Hagelin returns. Eric Stahl. Hagelin on him. Now McDonough checks Stahl. Lindholm moves in for Carolina. Puck back to the point for Sekera. Now Jeff Skinner. Broken up by Girardi. Girardi and McDonough with Hagelin and Dominic Moore. Open man. That shot blocked. Great job. Shot by Sekera. Save. Lundqvist. He finds the puck and stops play. Big shot by Andrej Sekera.
Very good save by Lundqvist. A good one prior to that as well. When the setup went to Semin over on the other side, Semin had trouble handling the initial pass. And by the time he double pumped on the play, here's the pass, and Girardi gets over to block that. Real good job by Girardi, and then here's Sekera with the shot. That looked like it hit a skate on the way in, but Lundqvist able to make the save and hold on.
Stralman stays out. Kevin Klein takes his spot. He's on with Mark Stahl. 5 on 4 advantage for another 40 seconds. Lochtianov blocked by Kevin Klein. That shot kicked away by Lundqvist along the boards. Lochtianov wearing number 8. Jordan Stahl. Here's Lochtianov again. Yuri Kalusty's in the corner. As the pass intended for him was blocked by Mark Stahl. Kevin Klein goes over, battling Talusty. Good job by Kevin Klein. And Stepan clears.
Well, that's an area where Kevin Klein's had a lot of experience killing penalties and his time with Nashville.
This is a big, big penalty kill for the Rangers. Killed off a 5-on-3. Team's back at full strength. Shot by Talusti was blocked. Rangers down 1-0. 6:20 gone by here in the second period. Matt Zuccarello carries in. Patrick Dwyer slows him down. McDonough, wrist shot, save, Khudobin. There's Marty St. Louis in front. McDonough plays it deep off the end board. St. Louis after it. Ryan Murphy moves it around, kept in deep by Girardi. Quick pass, save! St. Louis was set up by Zuccarello. And this is an icing on Carolina. What a combination that is.
Yeah.
Zuccarello and St. Louis.
Well, both players can really pass the puck, and they have good vision. And that was a quick pass from Zuccarello. And the Rangers do a nice job keeping the play in the zone. Here comes the pinch on the other side. Girardi does that, and then very quickly they turn it into a scoring chance. And Khudobin's been a real good story in this game. 19 shots for the Rangers without scoring a goal as of yet.
Brassard on the face-off. Hurricanes able to control and bring it out. Though Riley Nash opposite Brassard on that face-off. Rangers down 1-0. First period goal by Jordan Staal. John Moore's got it. Just past the 7-minute mark of the second period. Brassard moves in. Finds Pouliot. And a save by Khudobin.
What a pass. Brilliant pass from Brassard.
This time, Carcillo just off the bench. Back to John Moore. Kevin Klein with a drive. And that went wide around the board. Stopped by Carcillo for Pouliot. Pouliot wins it. Trying to play it back to John Moore. Back the other way. Nathan Gerbe goes wide on Moore. Moves it ahead for Ron Hainsey, the defenseman in deep. Checked there by Klein. Kevin Klein has been very noticeable here in the second period.
No, we still haven't seen Strawman back on the ice, have we?
Not yet. John Moore, tied up by Eric Staal. And Lindholm moves toward the net. Pass broken up by Klein. Another big play by Kevin Klein. He's got it, banks it off the boards.
You talk about having your stick in the right position. That was a 2-on-1 close to the net, and Klein had that stick on the ice and broke up the pass.
Klein there tied up by Lindholm. Jeff Skinner takes it away. Skinner with a backhander, saved by Lundqvist. Zuccarello gets away and able to move it ahead for St. Louis. So these St. Louis and Richards stay together, and Zuccarello is on with them for the second time. Here's Richards. Shot by Girardi, saved through the screen of Zuccarello, and Khudobin holds on. 8:39 gone by, second period, 1-0 Carolina. Here are the standings in the Metropolitan Division, brought to you by Kia. Rangers are still in third place in the division, so in a playoff spot, but not much breathing room. Columbus 1 point behind. Washington 2 points behind. Devils 3 points behind. And there's Carolina playing the Rangers 3 times between now and the end of the season.
Well, Carolina knows they've got to win some games to try and stay in this thing. They could quickly be out of that playoff hunt.
Well, they got hurt. They went on a 5-game losing streak before that big win in San Jose, and that really hurt them. They were up there. For a while, they were in playoff position. Right here, the Rangers trying to find a way to beat Anton Khudobin. Stepan is on with Nash and Kreider. The puck got by Mark Staal. And Strawman back on the ice for the first time since getting that shot in the foot. Strawman stops the puck, winds it deep for Stepan, around for Nash. Belmore knocked it away. Pouliot just off the bench, able to keep the puck in. Belmore. Nash ties him up. Brassard is on, reaching for the puck. Rangers have done a good job, kept the puck in the Carolina zone. Nash got knocked down by Jordan Staal. Jiri Talusti against Strawman. Lundqvist Moves it to Mark Stahl, out for Pouliot. Pouliot's pass knocked down. Zuccarello is back with Brassard and Pouliot.
Well, he's getting some double shifting, and why not? He might be their best player. He's really getting good. Every shift, making plays as the puck.
Girardi hard around the board. Zuccarello trying to tap it back to the point, comes all the way back. And Lundqvist leaves it for McDonough. Lead for Zuccarello. Throws it into the corner, and Hagelin chases in after it. Takes a hit from Jay Harrison. Eric Stahl comes out for Carolina. Off the boards, McDonough stops it. 9:35 to go, second period. Lead for St. Louis. Good pass to Hagelin. Hagelin shoots, save, Khudobin. Puck still loose.
Oh, what a second save. That second save was a brilliant one with a left pad. He got his own rebound, and Khudobin somehow made that save. Beautiful.
Jeff Skinner around the net. Checked there by Hagelin. Rangers getting chances. Khudobin has been unbeatable to this point. St. Louis tipped it. Brought out by John Moore. Rangers 23 shots on goal. Just under 9 minutes to go in this second period. That'll be an icing on Carolina. 8:53 to go. Let's see what happened on this Hagelin chance,
Well,
Joe.
what happened is what we've seen this far. There's the first one. Look at this one here coming up.
Yeah.
How about that one? Stretches as far as he can with the left leg. He just wouldn't give up on the play. Battled it, and made that left pad save.
He was the 206th pick when Minnesota drafted him. Here's Rick Nash trying to get to the net. Got it through. Khudobin made the save and then dives on top of the puck to stop play. 8:44 to go in the second period. Still 1-0 Carolina. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Rangers have a 9-game winning streak against the Carolina Hurricanes, outscoring them 36-17 and 5 straight wins here in Carolina. Hoping to stretch that winning streak. There's Alain Vigneault as he chews hard on the gum. The Rangers have thrown a lot of pucks at Anton Khudobin.
You know what? They're playing well. They're getting chances. Khudobin's just been the difference.
Face-off win, John Moore off the end boards. Klein able to work it ahead to Dominic Moore. Brian Boyle against Jay Harrison. Little pick from Carcillo, and Carcillo got called on it. It's interference. Carcillo tried to get some room for Brian Boyle to maneuver, and he got called for interference. Power play coming up for Carolina.
Well, the Rangers had 2 power plays in the first period to none for Carolina, and then there's a little subtle pick, but that is the penalty, and so Carcillo to the penalty box, and Carolina with their second power play of this period, end of this game.
Well, technically their third, Joe, because they had the 2-man advantage.
Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry. Sorry, Sam. Thank you. And meanwhile, just as the 2 players, Boyle and Lyles, were coming up, they had just a little bump and touch and a little conversation.
Face-off.
Remember,
win.
that was Boyle
Right.
and Lyles that got into it, that caused the 5-on-3.
And it's still boiling. Good face-off win. The Rangers able to clear. Rangers have Boyle and Hagelin with McDonough and Girardi. Puck shot in by John Michael Lyles. Played by McDonough. Taken away from him. But given away to Hagelin. And cleared. Jordan Stahl. Andrei Loktionov and Yuri Talusti for Carolina, with Ryan Murphy and John Michael Lyles all the way around the boards for Loktionov, stopped by Girardi. Talusti gave it away to McDonough. Down the ice it goes. 7:40 to go, second period. First period goal by Jordan Stahl, giving Carolina a 1-0 lead. And that's where we stand. Ryan Murphy. Rangers have Dominic Moore on, Strawman, Mark Stahl, and Carl Hagelin. Hagelin gets to the puck. Skinner on him. Hagelin gets loose. Second time he's able to clear it out. Dominic Moore with a takeaway from Ryan Murphy. And the shot. Save, Khudobin. And And the puck out of the zone. Rangers are there to take it.
Remember, the Rangers are coming off a game where they scored 2 shorthanded goals on the same penalty kill against Toronto.
22 seconds to go in the Carolina power play. Semin is on. Now Lyles. Boyle and St. Louis on for the Rangers. That shot went wide. Round the boards. Brian Boyle trying to get there. Does. With Marty St. Louis. They crisscross. St. Louis to the net. Save Khudobin. And he holds it. Good effort. Short-handed. See the Rangers at the transformed Madison Square Garden. A limited number of individual game tickets are on sale now. Rangers host the Phoenix Coyotes Monday, March 24th. For great seats, be sure to visit NewYorkRangers.com. Coyotes will be in battling for a playoff spot in the Western Conference.
They had a big win over Montreal, 5-2, but they're right in that spot. 2 points out of a playoff spot and needing wins and points to climb up.
Oh, the race is just tight as can be in both conferences. Carcillo with a hit as he's out of the penalty box. Rangers with a good penalty kill. And Hurricanes taking some exception to it. Belmore trying to get it. Brassard.
Well, it was a hit. I believe it was Belmore or maybe Nash. Let's see, coming up here. Here's a hit there. Carcillo gets hit by, it was Nash, and then Belmore jumped in as well. And Brassard reaches over to grab the back of Nash's jersey. The Rangers are getting a little frustrated, I think. Had 27 shots in this game without a goal.
I can understand that. McDonough. Pouliot clears it out. Brassard, Pouliot, and Zuccarello on for the Rangers. Girardi and McDonough. It's whistled down for an offside on Carolina. 5:59 to go, second period. And the Rangers trailing 1-0. Busy schedule. 4 games in 6 days. Sunday afternoon on NBC and ESPN Radio. Rangers against the Red Wings at the Garden. Tuesday night back here in Carolina. Thursday night at Minnesota. Friday night in Winnipeg. And those 3 games, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, all on MSG Network. Hope you'll join us. And Visa Rangers game night precedes those games by 1/2 hour.
Winnipeg under Paul Maurice has gotten back into the playoff race.
Yes.
Done a nice job there.
They've done a good job. That upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Richards. Kreider is now with Richards and St. Louis. That puck blocked out of the zone. Alain Vigneault making some little moves, tweaking here and there. That's an offside as the Rangers look for some kind of offense.
Have we seen much of Stepan? I haven't noticed. I haven't known. I know he's been making some changes. I don't know how much he's played. Now we've got Brassard coming out with Pouliot and Zuccarello, so that line. So he's moving some players around. Stepan's played just over 3 minutes in this period. 5:20 to go.
Lundqvist has it go by him. Girardi goes for it. Nathan Gerby on him. Girardi moves it out. Zuccarello knocks it down. Lost it. And the Hurricanes turn it. Gerby moving in with Riley Nash and Patrick Dwyer. Dwyer's shot off the glass. Brassard, good play to get it to Pouliot, but he left it behind him. Jay Harrison brings it back. Gerby couldn't handle it, knocked away from Dwyer and cleared out by Brassard. Zuccarello trying to get there. Ryan Murphy stopped it. 4:40 to go in the second.
Heads up. Watch out for the pass.
Rangers are out shooting Carolina 27-13. Carolina with a 1-0 lead. Here's Hagelin just on. Nash coming on. Long shot by Nash is blocked. Brassard still on. He's heading for the bench for a change, and now Derek Stepan is on. So it's Stepan, Nash, and Hagelin. Kreider has moved to the line with Richards and St. Louis for the time being. Belmore around the board. Stepan there to stop it. Fires toward the net, tipped wide by Nash. Good idea. And it just went wide. Nash had Belmore all over him. Belmore with a hit on Stepan. Hagelin winds it deep. Belmore steps in front of Stepan. Knocked down by Nash. Shot was blocked. And it's sent down the ice. Stralman with Jordan Staal on him. Staal rides him to the boards. Moved by John Moore. Malhotra fires in front. It's blocked. Played by the Rangers. Brad Richards. Up for Kreider. Kreider for St. Louis. Comes all the way down. Icing on the Rangers. And play stops with 3:19 to go in the second period. New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Lenox Hill Hospital, the official hospital of the New York Rangers. Let's see what Kreider can bring to this group, Joe, with Richards and St. Louis.
They need goals, Sam, plain and simple. I mean, it's one thing to keep getting scoring chances and 20 shots in the first period against Boston and all that kind of thing. They need to start putting something in the net.
Played off the side of the net by Bowman. Still loose, wrapped in front. Eric Staal had it knocked away. Staal gets it back to Lyles. Eric Staal again. He was checked by John Moore and it went wide. Kept in by Laktianov. Down comes Staal to play it. John Moore on him. That's played back by Bowman. Sekera toward the net, blocked in front, good play by Brad Richards. 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Semin stopped by Stralman. That was Dwyer, not Semin, excuse me. Puck around the boards. Richards cleared it out to St. Louis. Dumps it in. Pouliot with a hit on Harrison. Ryan Murphy out for Riley Nash. McDonough taken down by Nash, able to swing it around the boards for Klein. Played by Riley Nash. Dwyer is checked by McDonough. Here's Gerby trying to really spin around, twisting his body and trying to catch Lundqvist off the post. Chance for Jordan Staal, stopped by Lundqvist.
That's just a strong move by a big man. The other one, Gerby, just kind of found his way through.
That shot by Brassard deflected out of play off the netting, a minute 34 to go. Gerby contorted his body and got a shot off.
Yeah, he's not a big player, but if you don't have good position on him, he'll kind of find his way through the openings. There he is again. Look at just strong little move there and turns the other way quickly. And Lundqvist had to be alert. Good save. Gerby was let go by the Buffalo Sabres and signed as a free agent by Carolina.
Eric Staal moves in. Behind the back feet for Alexander Semin, but Semin was being checked. Hagelin and Stepan. Sent the other way by Ron Hainsey. Lead for Semin. Drops it off for Eric Staal. Rangers take it.
Yeah, so Semin now has been moved up to play with Eric Staal. He was playing on a line with Jordan Staal to start this game and last game as well.
Under a minute to go in the second period. No scoring here in the second. Played deep for Lindholm. Save. Nice play by Lundqvist. As Lindholm showed some quickness. Sekera checked by Dominic Moore. McDonough's shot was deflected into the corner. Dominic Moore to Carcillo. Boyle goes to the front. That pass deflected all the way back. Lundqvist leaves it for McDonough. Carcillo carries. Rangers unable to gain the zone. Good job by the Hurricanes at the blue line.
Last 5 or 6 minutes, the Hurricanes defensively have been better as the Rangers have had trouble getting shots on goal. They've been stuck on that 27 mark for a while.
McDonough back for the puck. Cheers building here as Carolina will take the 1-0 lead into the locker room. They led 1-0 into the first. And the story of the game, Anton Khudobin, who has stopped, they've taken a shot away from the Rangers. He stopped 26.
No, he's just been solid. And to start the second period, the Rangers came out with a good start. They put pressure on. Khudobin was there to make the saves. And Lundqvist had to be alert on a couple of power play opportunities by Carolina.
Coming up, it's the New York Lottery Intermission Report. John Giannone rejoins us. His special guest is Dominic Moore. Back at the studio, Bill Pito has the Audi MSG 150. Ron Duguay and Marty Biron have highlights and analysis. It's all coming up on the New York Lottery Intermission Report. Rangers have been firing pucks all night long, getting chances, but Anton Khudobin keeps coming up with saves. Ranger fans still have hope. We are back in Raleigh, North Carolina for New York Rangers hockey, as always, presented by Chase. Getting set for the third period. First, our Cadillac trivia question, Joe. Marty St. Louis ranked second among active players with 87 points against the Carolina Hurricanes. Who's the leader? Alex Ovechkin?
That's what I was thinking.
It's the best one. Jaromir Jagr. They didn't even give us a chance to.
I was thinking of Jagr, especially after we just saw him score a goal.
Right. He just scored number 701. What a goal. John Giannone talked to one of the Rangers coaches. He has the word from downstairs. John, between the benches.
Yes, I mean, I talked to the guy who's upstairs, Dan Lacroix, who basically said, quote, "We talked about the process between periods that led us to get the chances we have in the first 40 minutes. And the message was, don't change anything, at least in the sense of getting those chances." He said, "I'd like to see more traffic in front to turn those into grade A chances." But he said the guys know that they're playing well. They're doing so much that's been needed to generate that offense. The defense isn't allowing much. And then he concluded by saying, "We'll find out why hockey's a 60-minute game, guys."
All right. Thanks, John.
Rangers only have 3 players, Sam, that haven't had a shot in this game. So all 4 lines are generating chances.
Hagelin back with Richards and St. Louis to start the third period.
Richards was one of those players without a shot.
Here's Hagelin. Richards was bumped by Sekera, and he got hurt on the play. Looked like he's looking at his left hand. Puck all the way down. And he got slashed on the play. That's an icing on Carolina. And Brad Richards yelling out to the referee. He's upset.
He fired his stick and his glove. Now Richards is able to carry the puck over the blue line, and there's the slash right there by Sekera. Sekera, number 4. Watch the chop coming up right. Or was it the player from behind,
yes,
Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
The puck covered in the crease by Khudobin with the Rangers all around it. Pouliot was there. Brassard was there.
Here it comes again. Oh, there it is from the other side. Eric Stahl reached out and chopped him on the hands. And the thing that makes you upset as a player is that all the eyes are on the puck carrier. And so it didn't happen away from the play where somebody might miss it. And there's Richards trying to attend to that hand. He's able to bend his fingers, which seems to be a good thing.
Brassard, Pouliot, and Zuccarello for the Rangers. Girardi pokes at it. Hit Gerby. The puck cleared out. First period goal by Jordan Stahl, the only scoring in the game. Pouliot. Pumped by Hainsey. Brett Elmore fires it around the boards. And here comes Carolina 3-on-2. Gerby moves in, drags a shot blocked by Girardi.
And Gerby went and got his own rebound behind Girardi and got a shot.
Girardi stopped it, reverses for Zuccarello. He was caught up by Patrick Dwyer. Gerby, Dwyer, and Riley Nash, the line for Carolina. That's a hustling line. Gerby shoots, save, rebound, save! save. Lundqvist, 2 big saves. Oh man, this line for Carolina did a great job. Ryan Murphy moves in against Strawman. Backhander goes behind the net. And tipped out by Nash. Stepan after it. Talusti there first. Yuri Talusti with Stepan all over him. Good job by Stepan. Rangers take it away momentarily. Now Sekera's got it. And another good job by Kreider. Nash with a shot that went across. Brought out by Talusti. Mark Stahl is there. And Stahl took him down with the stick. They've gotten a piece of Talusti's stick as well. The referee was right on it, and no call was made. Brad Richards is back on after a little treatment from trainer Jim Ramsey. Gives it away to Eric Stahl, who lifted it out of play. 2:25 gone by here in the third.
Yeah, Nathan Gerbe ends up with a real good scoring chance. There's a pass that goes off of a skate, and then Gerbe does a real nice job as he and Girardi came together, and Gerbe ended up with the puck. Got one shot, Lundqvist made that save, and then a second one as well.
St. Louis and Stahl were jockeying on the face-off. Finally the puck into the Carolina zone. Ron Hainsey's there, haggling on him. And it's chipped clear. McDonough has it back. Girardi for St. Louis off his stick. And Hainsey tried to get it to Skinner. This goes down the ice, no icing. And the Rangers able to move it up. Jay Harrison kept it in briefly. The puck deflects out of play. 2:56 gone by here in the third period. For official New York Rangers autographed and game-used memorabilia, visit msg.steinersports.com/NY-Rangers.
Well, the Devils are right behind the Rangers, and the Devils have scored 3 quick goals in the second period in Detroit to erase a 2-0 deficit. One of those shorthanded by Patrick Elias and one by Yager.
Now Detroit has just scored to tie that game. Johan Franzen, the Mule, got another one. We're getting updates by the second. Carolina will be at New Jersey tomorrow night. Rangers will play against Detroit at the Garden Sunday afternoon. And then the Rangers and Carolina back here Tuesday night. And you're right, the Devils hanging tough, 67 points. That's a big game. Detroit battling.
The Devils, they found a scoring touch that they didn't have all season. And they've been finding ways to score goals, and that's leading them to some wins.
Adam Henrique has come alive. He's
sure
been
has.
scoring.
Right. There's another one tonight.
Here's Brassard. Rangers need to find a way to score. It's batted at it. It almost went in. Zuccarello just missed. Somehow that puck stayed out. Zuccarello again. Comes around the net. Backhander. Save Khudobin. He's got it. 4:16 gone by.
You know, Sam, it looked like it was in, and I don't think it was, but I mean, it looked like it. The optical illusion here is good work by Pouliot, who's had a good, strong game on the forecheck, and here comes the play, and Zuccarello's there. Comes across and over the goaltender. Zuccarello took a swing at it just as he was getting hit. Here it comes again, up in the air. It hit the post.
I think it just slid right by.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, it did hit the post.
Yeah, it went off the post.
There it slides by again on the second one.
I thought it was in. It looked like, I don't know if Zuccarello made contact with his stick or went off his leg. But that close were the Rangers to tying the game. We'll take a look up in Toronto just to make sure, and this game should remain.
After review, the call on the ice said no goal.
Yeah, real good work by Pouliot. He's had a strong game. Pouliot's had a few chances of his own. He's done a good job on the forecheck, putting pressure on. And Matt Zuccarello is really had some chances.
Tremendous effort on the part of Anton Khudobin. As the Rangers have had some real good chances around the net. Alexander Semin for Jordan Staal. Check there by Girardi. Delmore winds it around to Jordan Staal. Now Semin. Staal chips it ahead. Semin comes off the boards, off the skate of Jordan Staal. Stepan trying to get it to Nash. Nash with a nice move. And the long outlet pass too far for Kreider. And it turns into an icing on the Rangers with 4:57 gone by here in the third period. And the Rangers trailing 1-0.
Kreider's tired. He goes by the bench. He is bent over at the waist. The Rangers need to try and win a face-off here and get a whistle, or at least clear the zone so that they can make a change.
Stepan and Eric Staal. Rangers control. Kreider goes for the puck and takes a hit, lifts it out of the zone to Rick Nash. Jay Harrison on Nash. Nash moves it, taken back by Sekera. Rangers get that change. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes send it in deep. Girardi swings it around for St. Louis. Out for Richards. To open ice, Harrison takes over. Gives it back. St. Louis waits for Richards to get onside. Rather waited for Hagelin to get onside. In front, Hagelin, and had it knocked away. Eric Staal with Hagelin all over him. Hagelin again. Now Eric Staal. Nice play by Stroman. He shoots and it's blocked. Oh, Stroman with an outstanding play. Jeff Skinner for Carolina. Mark Staal is there. Good job by Mark Staal. Stroman. Zuccarello to Mark Staal. That was deflected in front. Brassard off the boards and out of the zone. Kicked out of the zone by Brassard to Pouliot. Pouliot lifts it in. It's batted down and cleared out by the Hurricanes. That goes off the shoulder of Zuccarello. He's checked by Gerby. And Zuccarello and Gerby were tangled up. And again, that stick got underneath the arm, and Gerby made the most of it. He drew a penalty. Carolina will get a power play. Holding on Zuccarello. Tonight, after post-game coverage, MSG's special two-week event continues on the lineup. Best New York movies.
I love it.
Big props to Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman is maybe the main reason why I really wanted to be an actor.
It was shot beautifully. Very exciting movie.
Great director, John Schlesinger, did Marathon Man.
He was an
those great 70s paranoid thrillers like Condor,
Parallax.
Yeah,
it was a great film.
Let's see what else is on this thriller list.
There are so many great films.
Join Fran Healy along with Spike Lee, Ed Burns, John Leguizamo, and Jeffrey Lyons as they debate and rank the best New York thrillers of all time on the lineup, presented by Tri-State Ford. Tonight at 11 after Knicks post-game coverage on MSG.
Remember a thriller in Detroit. Detroit's come back with 3 straight goals now to lead 5-3 after the Devils scored 3 consecutive.
He traded 3 spots.
Wow. Still in the second period there, and this one, Rangers got to find a little bit more oomph in their game here. They haven't had many shots in the last 10 minutes of play.
8 goals in that game, 1 goal in this one. Hagelin along the boards. Rangers shorthanded. Zuccarello for holding the stick. And Carolina 0 for 3 on the power play in the game with 5 shots. They had a 2-man advantage, which the Rangers killed off. 2-man advantage for over 40 seconds. Girardi tied up. Eric Staal on the outskirts, worked it loose, and away with it, Rick Nash. Stepan with him, and McDonough, 3-on-2. McDonough's got room, scores! McDonough with a shorthanded goal. And the Rangers tie it at 1.
3 consecutive shorthanded goals scored by the Rangers. Kirk Muller talked about his power play. Right side is Nash. He waits, he gets the stick in, steals the puck, and the Rangers come the other way. What an alert play by McDonough to join the rush and create the 3-on-2. And then the pass, and McDonough, who's had plenty of chances, in particular in that first period, scores the shorthanded goal. The Rangers have come back to tie it.
3 shorthanded goals for the Rangers in the last 2 games. That's all they've scored. All 3 of their goals in the last 2 games shorthanded.
Take another penalty.
That's the game plan, huh? All right, now we've figured it out. Stahl, Mark Stahl, pressured on the play by Yuri Talusti. Jay Harrison for Carolina. And a lot of Ranger fans at this game, and they have come alive with a Let's Go Rangers chant. Harrison, a drive and a save by Lundqvist, and he holds it. Exactly 12 minutes remaining in this third period.
Well, the Rangers trailed 2-0 against Toronto when this happened. Double deflection, McDonough scored that one shorthanded, and then more on a beautiful pass from Derek Stepan scored. That tied the game, and Rangers, of course, lost in overtime, but there's McDonough again. Another shorthanded goal for Ryan McDonough. And the Rangers back in this at a goal apiece.
McDonough with his 11th goal of the season. And the face-off win and a clear by Girardi all the way down. Ryan Murphy chased by Stepan. Stopped by Girardi, back into the Carolina zone. Nice pressure by Stepan. McDonough gets the goal, his 11th from Nash at 7:25. A shorthanded goal to tie the game.
Well, what a play by Nash, wasn't it? He comes all the way deep into the corner where the Rangers already had 2 players.
Jay Harrison with a drive, saved by Lundqvist. The rebound still loose. Played back to the point. Ryan Murphy with a drive, deflected just wide. Looked like big Jordan Stahl with a deflection. Teams are back at full strength. Zuccarello on the ice. Rangers penalty kill, 4 for 4 in the game. St. Louis on the ice with Zuccarello and Richards. Now a Let's Go Canes chant up from the crowd. The outlet for St. Louis into the Carolina zone. Just past the 9-minute mark of this third period. Rangers have tied it. John Moore playing it ahead. It's lifted by Kevin Klein. Richards gets to it in deep. Try to backhand it in front for Zuccarello. John Moore, the shot knocked away with a blocker by Khudobin. Richards pass given away to Gerby. Gerby comes out and goes to the inside and shoots high. Made a strong move against Kevin Klein. Back the other way, Rick Nash. Long shot saved. Brassard on the rebound, stopped by Khudobin. Oh man, Nash led a good rush, and Brassard almost put in the rebound. Pouliot fires around the boards.
Well, that was an innocent-looking shot by Rick Nash, and Khudobin had trouble with it. A big rebound up to the slot.
Good job by Nash in the corner on Sekera. Forced a turnover. Brassard's shot was stopped. Here's Sekera. Dumping it into the Ranger zone with 9:40 to go in the third. Grayson Bowman is checked there by Strawman. Bowman has it back. Stepan moves it. Rangers get it out of the zone. St. Louis is on. A little mixing and matching by Alain Vigneault with that penalty for Zuccarello. He came out and stayed on the ice. So right now it's Stepan with Kreider and St. Louis. St. Louis gets it out of the zone. Let's Go Rangers chant up from the crowd. Carolina offside on the play. 9:09 to go in the third period. Rangers needed a big lift. Ryan McDonough gave it to him with a drive for the Rangers' first goal. The game recap is brought to you by Tri-Honda dealers. Jordan Stahl, the Carolina goal that broke a 10-game goal-scoring drought. Ryan McDonough with a shorthanded goal in consecutive games now, and goals in 3 straight games overall. And Anton Khudobin with 33 saves in the game for Carolina. Now the line of Brassard, Pouliot, and Zuccarello back together. Sekera tries to reverse. Pinching in is McDonough. Good play. Ryan Murphy to Andre Sekera. Patrick Dwyer going after it, and good play by Lundqvist to get it to McDonough. Pressure by Carolina, Nathan Gerbe. Gerbe's been skittering
really
around all over the ice.
He's had some chances here in the third period.
Zuccarello holding. 8.5 minutes to go here in the third period. And the game tied 1-1. Carl Hagelin by himself. Rangers changing. St. Louis has come on. Richards has come on. Kept in. Good play by Mark Stahl. Winds up. The drive goes wide. And Karam's off the glass and up into the netting. 8:13 to go here in the third. Tuesday night, right here on MSG. The Rangers and Hurricanes go at it again. Live coverage gets underway with Visa Rangers game night at 6:30. Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes Tuesday night. That's on MSG. And the game's Thursday night in Minnesota and Friday night in Winnipeg also on MSG. As the Rangers head out on the road for 3 straight after the game Sunday afternoon against Detroit. That game will be on. Here's Skinner breaking it all alone. Saved by Lundqvist.
Penalty.
And a penalty shot coming up to Jeff Skinner. He's been awarded a penalty shot.
Yeah, the misplay started at the Carolina blue line and then continued at the red line, which ended up turning into a 2-on-0. Here's one play and then the misplay. And then here comes the hook from behind by Stralman. And that prevented a shot. You know, Lundqvist had to make the save, and here we go.
Here comes Skinner moving in on Lundqvist. He scores! With 7:53 to go in the third period, Jeff Skinner's penalty shot beats Henrik Lundqvist.
Now Skinner comes in slowly, but the release is quick. Slowed down, and then he just ripped it right past the glove of Lundqvist to give the Hurricanes the lead. A defensive gaffe by the Rangers in the first at the blue line and at the red line.
Penalty shot by Toronto. Tyler Bozak in the previous game. This one, Kreider involved now after the whistle. Belmore is there. Ron Hainsey, both defensemen going at Kreider.
Now once Kreider got in there, he kept going towards the goaltender and then pushed one of the Carolina players into Khudobin. McDonough leads the rush. There it is, and he keeps going and pushes Hainsey right into Khudobin, and everyone gets involved. Kreider will go to the penalty box. Belmore is already in the penalty box for Carolina. And it looks like we'll play 4-on-4 hockey.
All right.
Lundqvist tries to be so patient, and you can just see the quick release. The puck was in the net hardly before Lundqvist could make a move, just underneath his glove.
Bozak beat him with a shot on a penalty shot in the game against Toronto.
Right.
And here Skinner beat him with a shot. But that gives Carolina the lead for the second time. They lead 2-1 with 7:44 to go, and the team skating 4 aside. Kreider and Belmore 2 minutes each for roughing at 12:16. Hainsey moves it up for Jordan Stahl. Rangers turn it. Brassard moves in with McDonough to the net. He was checked by Jordan Stahl. Zuccarello and Brassard for the Rangers. Here's Jordan Stahl moving in. Girardi able to bat it away. McDonough back to Girardi. Zuccarello. That was deflected away from him. Good play by Eric Stahl. Ryan Murphy. Rick Nash comes on for the Rangers. Eric Stahl plays it down the boards. John Moore takes over. Now Strawman. Strawman drops it back. Nash moves across, winds up. Big drive, missed the net. Bangs off the glass, comes around. Kept in by John Moore to Derek Stepan. Now Nash. Played toward the net, they score! Deflected in! I believe John Moore got the deflection, and the Rangers have tied it 2-2.
Boy, what a response. What a response, quick response by the Rangers on the 4-on-4. John Moore does a good job keeping the puck in. And then the Rangers go to work, and John Moore just goes to the net. What a play he makes. Moore keeps it in. Now let's see, does it get there? Is it Nash? Oh, maybe off the, may have been off Sekera, number 4.
Okay.
As he tried to make the pass to John Moore across.
Yeah, never got to John Moore.
No, it didn't get to him as it deflects off Sekera. Nash will get credit.
Big goal, here comes Brad Richards. Stick save, Khudobin. 6:20 to go in the third. Still skating for a side. Jeff Skinner moves in. Pass in front off the stick of Harrison. Skinner forced out of the zone. Falls down. Richards takes it away. He's by himself just off the bench. The quick shot save off Zuccarello. Zuccarello drops it back. John Moore with a shot goes wide. Moore wraparound. Save Khudobin. And he covers up to stop play. Now the Rangers with some jump. They tied it on a goal by Rick Nash. 2-2. The turning point of the game is brought to you by Weiser's Whiskey. Welcome to the Weiserhood.
Now here's the play by John Moore to hustle to keep the play in. Now Nash will end up with it. He takes his time. He waits for John Moore to get to the front of the net. Tries to hit him with the pass. And instead, number 4, Sekera. There it is, right off the stick. Through the legs of Anton Khudobin. And the Rangers come back.
That was Rick Nash's 20th goal. It gives him 10 consecutive 20-goal seasons. The only season in the NHL he didn't score 20 goals, his rookie year when he scored 17. Since then, every year, he scored at least 20 goals.
Pretty consistent, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And a big goal for the Rangers to tie the game. We're back at full strength on the ice. With the game tied 2-2, Nash with his 20th. Derek Stepan and Ryan McDonough get the assist. McDonough with a goal and an assist in the game. Stepan has made some big plays and come through as a penalty killer. Came through with an assist on the Nash goal. Here's Jay Harrison for Carolina. Rangers have never led in this game. They are out shooting Carolina 37-23. Puck lifted out. Brassard gets to it. Got knocked down by Loktionov. And it's brought out by Harrison. Brought in deep by Gerby. Tried to split the defense. Got bumped on the play. And Gerby checking Zuccarello. Zuccarello able to release to Pouliot. Belmore. Ron Hainsey moves it out of the zone. Girardi takes it back. 4:40 to go in the third. Here's Hagelin with a long shot into the midsection of Khudobin, and he holds on. 4:34 to go here in the third. Following the action on the ice, we've got complete post-game coverage coming your way. We've got Bill Pito anchoring in New York with Ron Duguay and Marty Biron. John Giannone will work the locker rooms. We'll hear from head coach Alain Vigneault. Joe Micheletti and Dave Maloney have their analysis all coming up on Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame immediately following the action on the ice.
Oh,
Puck
penalty.
lifted into the crowd.
Yeah, that's going to be a
it
penalty.
looks like a penalty on Carolina.
Yeah, that's Hainsey. Hainsey, it was to me it looked like a set face-off play where Hainsey, when they won the face-off, he was going to try and go off the glass to the Carolina forwards that were sprinting down the ice. And instead missed the glass. Here's the win. Now he's going to try and go over the glass. Off the glass and down the other way, and it goes straight over. That's a penalty. And the Rangers, boy, they trailed it 2-1 on the penalty shot goal. Came back to tie it, and now with 4.5 minutes to go, a chance for their power play. By the way, McDonough, that assist should be changed to John Moore, I would think, on that second goal.
Oh, that's right. Here's Richards ahead to McDonough. McDonough and Richards play the point. Stepan, Nash, and St. Louis up front. Nash right in front of the goaltender with that big body. Stepan to Richards. Big shot deflected. Nash looking for it. Khudobin's got it.
That was Marty St. Louis that got the deflection. They made a little bit of an adjustment. There was some communication between St. Louis and Derek Stepan. And St. Louis was on one side and Stepan had him come to the middle, and that shot gets deflected on the way. Right there, gets a piece of it. Khudobin fought it off, was able to cover up. He does a nice job, and St. Louis has to go get a new stick.
And that's the yellow stick he likes to use to let everybody know where he is on the ice. Stepan on the face-off against Jordan Staal. Nash plays it back to Richards. St. Louis goes in front. Nash in the slot. Richards shoots high off the glass. Chipped out.
Well, that's a
and up
penalty
into the
again.
crowd again. A diving play by Belmore. He didn't mean to do it.
And the Carolina coaches are screaming at the officials that there should have been a hooking call against the Rangers on this play, but I didn't see it. We'll get another look. But he dove at a puck that was bouncing. Here it comes again. Oh, you see St. Louis?
He got
a little bit with
in.
his stick. I think it was more of a dive for the puck. And either way, you saw the puck not make it to the bench, so it goes straight over. Here it comes again. St. Louis knew it right away.
And now timeout has been called by the Rangers to talk over this 5-on-3. There's John McLean, the former Devils star who also played with the Rangers. Now the Rangers talking things over with associate coach Scott Arniel on this 5-on-3. This is a crucial point of the game. A minute 29, two-man advantage for the Rangers. Earlier in the game, Carolina had a 5-on-3 for over 40 seconds. Failed to capitalize. Rangers send out McDonough and Richards at the point. Stepan, Nash, and St. Louis up front. Same five. Jordan Staal, Jay Harrison, Andre Sekera on for Carolina. One forward, two defensemen. Stepan. McDonough. Now Richards. Nash is in front against Sekera. Down low, Stepan looks. Out to Richards. Now St. Louis. To Richards. To Stepan. Here's Richards for St. Louis. Rangers being kept to the outside. Stepan to St. Louis. Tees it up, went wide. Couldn't get it cleanly. Stepan's got it back. Richards. Switch sides with McDonough. Here's St. Louis looking toward the net. Out to Richards. Now to McDonough. 45 seconds to the two-man. Save Khudobin. The rebound carried behind the net. And Rangers set it up again. Richards. Down low, Stepan. Cross ice for St. Louis. Goes through him.
Rangers aren't getting quality shots. They're moving the puck around, but they've got to put it in an area to shoot it.
Here's Richards. Now Marty St. Louis. He's got room. Doesn't take the shot. Now that's a pass to Stepan. He scores! Derek Mark Stepan. It's a power play goal. Rangers lead for the first time, 3-2.
Wow, what a pass from Marty St. Louis. St. Louis this time when he gets the puck, he's got it under control. He'll get the puck from Richards, and now he'll lift it over the stick of Sekera. As it comes across there, it goes right through him onto the tape of Stepan, who puts it up high before Khudobin can get over there. Beautiful pass. And Stepan with the finish, and the Rangers with the lead.
Marty St. Louis with his first point as a New York Ranger. It's an assist, his 33rd assist of the season. And the Rangers remain on the power play, 5-on-4, 35 seconds remaining in the man advantage. 2 delay of game penalties on the Carolina defense. That's tipped out of the zone by Manny Malhotra. Racing for it, he gets to the puck, and it's tipped away. Big play by John Moore. Wow. Malhotra almost had a big-time chance. Zuccarello goes deep with it. Forced back by Sekera. Long shot, save. Khudobin doesn't have it. He juggled it and gloved it. Didn't get it cleanly.
Boy, what a play. Malhotra, short-handed. Nearly had a break, and the shots are 43-23 for the Rangers. And the first point for Marty St. Louis as a New York Ranger. Here's Malhotra. He made the defensive play at his own blue line. And then coming back on the play with John Moore. Gets the puck with the stick. Real nice defensive play.
Stepan with a shot deflected and blocked on the way in. Cleared out by Harrison. Power play is over. The Rangers goal. Stepan from St. Louis and Richards. Stepan with his 11th at 17-14. 1:45 to go. Rangers leading 3-2. Taking advantage of the 5-on-3 opportunity. Tipped in by Gerby. Stopped by Lundqvist, fired around by Mark Stahl. Out of the zone. 1.5 to go. That's blocked by Boyle, knocked down Murphy. The puck deflected over the boards into the Carolina bench. 1:26 remaining.
What a turn of events, huh, Sam? I mean, this game is, we've seen a lot of different things happen in this game. It's been wild.
And you see Kirk Muller, the head coach of the Hurricanes, signaling for a timeout. They want to talk things over here, determine when they want to pull the goaltender, what they want to do.
And 2 delay a game penalties put the Rangers on the 5-on-3.
Wow.
I mean, how often do you see that? We've seen some strange things lately. The two shorthanded goals the other night on the same shift, and that's the second time it's happened to Toronto in 2 games, which is unusual. And then the Carolina wins the faceoff cleanly, and Hainsey fires it over the glass with plenty of time to make a play. This has been wild.
Well, as John Giannone told us just before the start of the third period, the coaching staff saying, stick with the game plan. And it's a 60-minute game, and we have seen a lot of things unfold in the late minutes after Carolina led 1-0 through 2 periods. 1:15 to go. Khudobin to the bench. Carolina's net is empty. Rangers leading 3-2. Brassard pried it loose, up the boards for Zuccarello. Can he get around Semin? He does. Zuccarello turning, holding, pass off a skate. Under a minute to go in the third period. Rangers lead 3-2. Alexander Semin gets into the Ranger zone. Girardi goes back for it. Back up the boards for Zuccarello, tipped out of the zone. Racing for it is Hagelin. Gets there to the empty net. He scores!
That one would have gone wide, and it hit the stick of Murphy and into the net.
An empty net goal for Carl Hagelin with 41 seconds to go.
Now very quickly from behind their own net, Girardi fires it all the way down. And Hagelin with the backhand shot, and there it goes off the stick of Murphy and trickles into the net, and the Rangers find a way to come back in this game when It didn't look all that good with about 8 minutes to play and them trailing 2-1, and here they are, 2-goal lead.
And it looks like they will lengthen the winning streak over the Carolina Hurricanes, which continues to be one of those shake your head deals. 25 seconds to go, breaking in, save! Lundqvist with a great save to rob Drayson Bowman. And how did he get wide open like that?
It's maybe the way this game should finish.
Rangers relax.
The pass, Bowman went right between Stahl and Girardi. And Lundqvist with the save.
Man, oh man. 22 and a half seconds remaining. Rangers set up. Out in Detroit, the Red Wings have a 6-3 lead on the Devils. Rangers will play the Red Wings. That shoot-in hit Mark Stahl in the left arm, maybe the back. And this one is over. The Rangers come back to win it 4-2. Brian Boyle involved. And after the final horn sounds, the linesman trying to keep him away. And the Rangers, Marty St. Louis' first win as a Ranger. He gets an assist. Ryan McDonough had a huge goal, a shorthanded goal to get the Rangers scoring going. And Henrik Lundqvist is one win away from 300. He's at 299. But the Rangers pick up 2 huge points with a 4-2 win over Carolina. They've beaten Carolina 10 straight, 6 straight here in Carolina.
Well, this was a game of perseverance for the Rangers. They had a real good start to this game where they had 15 shots in the first period, and the goaltender for Carolina, Anton Hudobin, was outstanding. And the first goal of the game scored then in the first period also by Carolina. And when the Rangers fell behind, they were able to just fight right back, get that goal by Nash to tie the game at 2, and then we had a crazy finish.
Oh, just for more, we'll be back here Tuesday. Rangers will play Carolina again here. We'll be back to wrap things up here, and then the post game's coming up.